My Greece Islands Adventure, a 9-day story by Alice Phillips. Day 1. Touchdown in Athens. The warm Greek sun greeted me the moment I stepped out of the airport in Athens. I was welcomed by a cheerful assistant who whisked me off to my hotel. And even though the journey was short, I was already absorbing the scenery with wide-eyed wonder. I had the rest of the day to myself, and I spent it doing what I love most, wandering. The scent of blooming jasmine trailed through the air, and the old streets hummed with life. Cafes spilled onto the sidewalks. Locals chatted animatedly, and I felt instantly at home. Highlight of the day, that first breath of Greek air, floral, salty, ancient. Day 2, Athens City Tour and Acropolis Museum. Today was all about Athens, and oh, she did not disappoint. I joined a guided city tour that felt like stepping into a living museum. We weaved past iconic sights, but it was the Acropolis that left me speechless. As I stood before the Parthenon, sunlight striking its white marble, my skin tingled. Centuries of history pressed in around me, and I tried to imagine the gods watching from Mount Olympus. Later, inside the Acropolis Museum, I felt goosebumps admiring the relics, sculptures with expressions so human it was eerie. Our guide brought the stories of Athens to life with so much passion that I caught myself hanging onto every word. Highlight of the day. Looking up at the Parthenon and whispering "wow" out loud, involuntarily. Day 3. Ferry to Mykonos. Early morning came with anticipation in the air. I was picked up and transferred to the port of Piraeus, where I boarded the ferry to Mykonos. The deck was sun-drenched, the Aegean Sea shimmered like a sapphire, and I just leaned back, wind in my hair, soaking it all in. Mykonos welcomed me with whitewashed houses and flashes of fuchsia bougainvillea. I was transferred to my hotel, and then I just slowed down. No to-do list, no rush. I sipped iced coffee at a coastal cafe and watched cats nap in doorways and waves curl onto golden sands. Highlight of the day, that ferry ride. Blissful, breezy, and full of promise. Day 4, free day in Mykonos. Today was all mine to explore Mykonos, and oh my, this island is glamorous. It's the playground of the international jet set, and it shows. Glittering boutiques, stylish beach clubs, and a rhythm of life that's both chill and electric. I wandered through Mykonos town, every alley a postcard, then spent hours basking on Platysgialos beach, toes buried in warm sand. The water was impossibly clear. I ended the day watching the sun melt behind the famous windmills, camera forgotten in my hand, just watching. Highlight of the day, sunset by the windmills, pure magic. Day 5, fast ferry to Santorini. After breakfast, it was time for the next adventure, Santorini. The fast ferry ride was smooth, and as the island's cliffs rose into view, I literally gasped. It looked like a dream. Those iconic white buildings spilling down volcanic slopes. I was transferred to my hotel, and the rest of the day was mine. I couldn't resist wandering Fira's cobbled lanes, peeking into artisan shops, and catching glimpses of that caldera view. At dusk, I found a quiet perch and watched the sky erupt in color. Highlight of the day, my first glimpse of Santorini from the ferry. Jaw dropped. Day 6, leisure day in Santorini. Breakfast came with a view. Blue domes, white walls, and the endless sea. I had the entire day to explore Santorini at my pace. And what a day it was! I meandered through Oia, its elegance almost overwhelming, and stopped to sketch the skyline. I learned that the island's name came from a chapel dedicated to Saint Irene, and there's even speculation that Santorini was the fabled Atlantis. Whether true or not, the island certainly feels mythic. Highlight of the day! Walking the clifftop path from Fira to Oia. Wind in my face. Volcano to my right. Day 7. Ferry to Crete. I wasn't ready to say goodbye to Santorini, but Crete was calling. I was picked up and taken to the port, then boarded the ferry to Heraklion, the capital of Greece's largest island. Crete feels different, bolder, older, more rugged. Upon arrival, I was met and taken to my hotel. The air smelled of thyme and olive oil. And even though I only had time to settle in, I could already sense there were stories waiting for me here. Highlight of the day? The changing hues of the Aegean during the ferry ride. Blues I didn't know existed. Day 8, exploring Crete. Today was mine to uncover Crete, and I dove in. I strolled through the historical center of Heraklion, past markets buzzing with life and locals sipping coffee like it's a ritual. But the true awe hit me at the Palace of Knossos. To stand where the Minotaur legend was born, where King Minos ruled, it stirred something deep. The ruins were sun-drenched and mysterious, and I lingered long after my visit officially ended, reluctant to leave such a mythical place. Highlight of the day, standing in the throne room of Knossos, goosebumps from head to toe. Day 9, farewell Greece. All journeys must end, but Greece has etched itself into me. After breakfast, I checked out and transferred to the airport, eyes drinking in every last sight. The sea, the light, the ruins, the warmth of the people. I wasn't just a tourist. For 9 days, I was part of it all. Final impression: Greece didn't just live up to the myth, it became mine.